Yeah, I'm looking here at my version of Tent City. Anyway, I've got some carports out front here, and one of them, all three of these are Costco frames, and they're great, except that after a few years, the canopies get killed by the sun, and so the one on this side, it literally just ripped in the wind, and half of it came off. So took the rest of it off, but I find myself in need of another tarp. So while I was looking today for cheaper tarps, tops. These are called Valance canopies because they come down over the side. I found something. Well, here, let me show you the other one. So I bought these canopies, replacement canopies. It's still the original Costco frame, but I bought the canopy at online at Cost Less Tarps. Is that what it was? Yep, Cost Less Tarps. And I was always kind of disappointed with how the fit. They're real loose. They don't stretch tight. The sides come way down. As you can see, I've got that one bungeed up a bit so I can walk under it without having to constantly duck. Well, when I was on their site today, they now have an extension kit. Because the trouble with the Costco ones is the distance of these beams, rafters, whatever you want to call them, it's only 66 inches from, from the corner over here to the peak. And it should be 72 because this canopy is 12 by 20. So they're going to come out a good 6 inches too long, side to side. And this is the other one, and I think this is still a Costco frame. It's just not the dark brown one. They specified it on their site that the extension kit was for the dark brown frame, but I'm pretty sure this frame's identical. You can see it's still really loose. The bungees are right there at the frame, and then when you get over here, they're below, just like the other one. So I can pretty much assume the measurements are the same. So here's another Costco canopy. This one's been out here for years. Okay, I don't fault the canopies or anything like that, because this side has been exposed to the sun, and this has been up for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years probably. Most of them you don't expect to last more than about 3 years, if that. But you can see I'm starting to get some holes there. Got another one up there, and that's just from the squirrels dropping stuff on it. And it literally just gets to the point where any weight on it will rip it. I can literally walk up here, and that hole is from me just reaching up, putting my fingers through it. So it won't handle a snow load or a. Let's see. Yeah, see how easy that was. Hopefully that came out. It's well above my head. I can't see it. So anyway, the when you look underneath there, I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty easy to see that this side is thin, pretty much trashed, ready to go. The other side, which hardly gets any sun, is actually still in pretty good shape, but it's starting to get a little thin too. So I'm going to order tarps for the one that's missing out front and another one for this, and then I'll get I'll buy enough parts for the extension. Now see, while we're here, see how this is how blah 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 blah. You can see here, this is how the canopy should fit. Okay, there's a good 3 inches to the frame rail there, and it's tight over here too. It comes up short. Okay, so that's the kind of fit I want on the other one. And that's what I'm shooting for. We'll see what we get. So here's the stuff. The conduit, I took my cordless Sawzall to Home Depot and literally out in the parking lot chopped it down into 3 pieces so it fit in the trunk of my car. So here's 2 that I've already cut, 5.5 inches. These are the couplings, just standard 1.25 inch conduit couplings, and they're basically identical, 2 screws per side, 4 screws total, to the other ones. 1.25 inch there. So the other piece here, this is an old pole from a collapsed tent, and I forgot I had them sitting on the scrap metal pile. If I would have realized that, I probably wouldn't have gone out and bought the conduit. The conduit is definitely a heavier wall. It is more sturdy, so at $10 for a 10-foot stick, get the conduit. I happen to have these laying around, so rather than go get another stick of conduit, I'm going to be cutting these up. And I have a frame this color, so it actually works out pretty good for me because I can make the 8 extensions, you know, and do that. So the goal here is to extend each side by 6 inches. And so I first cut the conduit at 6 inches, put it in, and the distance between the center of this hole and the button, which shows me how long I've extended it, that was at 6.5. So I cut the conduit down to 5.5. I got exactly 6 inches right now. And it's quite easy to, you know, take the pieces apart and that stuff. The reason it sits in a little different is because this isn't exactly the same size as the other pipe. So that was, you'll want to play with that a little bit, do a little test fit and stuff. So that ought to do the trick. So I've been cutting the pipe, and I don't have enough connectors to do them all, but it's a start. Well, we'll see how this comes out. I got this big tubing cutter from Harbor Freight years ago to modify some struts. So this is another option if you don't have a bandsaw, cordless sawzall, or don't want to cut them by hand with a hacksaw. I suppose I should turn it the correct way. And the nice thing about the tubing cutter is it takes a little bit longer than the bandsaw, but it's almost a push because it does not leave the burr that you know, I could just put that right in there because there's no exterior burr here to fight with. So it's just a whole lot faster to stick it in the bandsaw for me, but that is an option for somebody else. You just have to have a way to clamp it down. You could, you know, clamp it to a table or something like that to keep it from spinning. So there's still a pretty good burr inside. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I just don't want an outside burr when I pick it up. I don't have any expectations of putting my fingers in there or anything like that. So you could clean it up, get a rotary file or drum sander or something like that, rat tail file. I just don't care. I'm not going to do it. Maybe I should point out too real quick that the galvanized coating on here has zinc in it, okay? And if you heat that up, burn it, weld it, whatever, it gives off a toxic fume that can give you some serious headaches. I'm not doing a whole lot of grinding. I'm not concentrating on the zinc coating, the galvanizing. And my shop is wide open. I got both doors open right now for plenty of ventilation, stuff like that. So that is one thing, though. If you're doing this in a small, tight spot, don't grind where you get this stuff so hot that it starts smoking. Well, here we go. I got the extensions in, and you can see now that the seam, you know, the pull down right there, instead of being below the bar, it's above the bar. I did find that I'll probably cut them at 6 inches next time. It doesn't really matter as long as that seam is above the bar and it's pulling. 5.5 is fine. But anyway, you can see how much tighter it is. And you can see I got the same, you know, roughly 3-inch gap on the other side too. So, as opposed to over on that side, where, you know, that's what we started with. You can see how far down the valance is there, valance. And, you know, it's a whole lot higher here. So, I'm pretty pleased with how it's coming out. So that's it for right now. I need to get more couplers before I can do another one. So I'm going to move on to other projects.